Graeme, as Steve Bruce quite rightly alluded to, there's not much he can do about the takeover and there's not much he can do about his own future should the takeover happen. How would you assess his season in charge of Newcastle?
I think he's done really well. Difficult circumstances. I know how difficult that job is. Kieron knows, it's a difficult place to be a player there. The crowd are demanding. They want you to play a certain way. I would say that under the previous manager, they weren't playing what is regarded as a Newcastle brand of football, and yet the manager somehow managed to win them over and get them to buy into that, because it was pretty dull at times. I think Steve's done a very good job under very difficult circumstances. You
touched on it. They're demanding, the fans. We all know that Newcastle haven't won anything for a long time, but they were still very demanding. They were called the entertainers. They wanted a certain brand of football. And in the last 3 or 4 years, even today, you're watching them and they're not on the front foot, and it's like they're playing not to lose. And it's being accepted by the fans now. And I
would cut them some slack tonight, because we've seen that time and time again. Yeah. Because of the unique circumstances.
Just over the 3 or 4 years, yeah.
But normally Newcastle supporters want to be on the edge of their seats. They want something to cheer. And I think Steve Bruce is by and large, give them what they wanted this year. I'm not saying it's been terribly exciting football, but they've won games. They've survived comfortably. And nobody wanted him when he went in there. He's an experienced Premier League manager. He knows his way around the job. And I'll come back to it. I think under the previous manager at times it was quite, for me anyway, it was quite a difficult watch. I think under Steve, I think he had a good look at it early on, and he's come up with a system. And like all managers, the priority is to get the most out of your group. And I think he's done that. I think he's done his job this year.
100%.
Do you think that having spent £40 million on Joelinton, broken a club transfer record, that there should be more going forward?
Definitely more goals, yeah. I don't know who it was a point when the defenders were getting all the goals. The captain, I think, at one point, up at Christmas time, was the top scorer. So that is an obvious thing they have to address. Maxim, he's one that does get you on the edge of your seat. I think he was on the beach tonight. He's looking for his summer holidays already, I think. But I get it. I've been there and I understand that. They've done the hard work. They've survived. They've got there quite easily. I hope it's Steve. If there is a takeover or not a takeover, Steve's there and he's given a few quid, and I'm sure that's something he'll want to address, and that's goals. Because if you're not scoring goals, if you're playing fabulous football but not scoring goals, you're always under pressure. And if
you're not scoring fabulous football and not scoring goals, then you'll be under even more pressure.
When you think the takeover, normally, these are very serious people that are involved in it. These are not Mickey Mouse operators. And I find it hard to believe that they have not got a steer from the Premier League long before any of this was made public, that they would be allowed to be the new owners. So I would imagine that's taken place. Why it's taken so long now, hopefully we'll find out before not too long. But the moral question is a completely different thing. The FFP, I believe that, FFP is not fair to anyone who wants to break the big guys, the cartel, top six. So I don't agree with it or understand it. So in one sense, I hope Newcastle got all that funding, but the moral question is an enormous one. No one can avoid that. But I come back to it. These are serious people, and serious people, I'm sure, would have been asking for a steer from the Premier League before they got this far or before they announced they were after it.